subjected to on a minute by minute basis, and there seems like there's no end in sight.
Have you guys seen the videos and pictures coming out of Rafah in the past few hours? Those videos and those pictures are so hard to look at. If you have not seen it, go on X, but trigger warning, because there are so many things that you're going to see that will literally shatter your heart and you might not be able to hold it. I've seen so many people on the street of TikTok literally in tears reacting to what happened in Rafah. A place that was supposed to be safe for them has been bombed again, and hundreds of those people, kids, have been killed. There's a particular one I saw that I'm still struggling to get that image out of my head. It was a father that was holding his baby, but the head is out. These are hard pictures and videos to watch, and people are talking about it. This place was supposed to be a safe place for the people of Palestine, and now they have been subjected to another pain, and so many families have been wiped out in the last few hours. Let's just get right into what the people are saying about this, and please make sure you share this video. Make sure you continue to speak about what is going on in Palestine.
The images coming out of Rafah right now are so genuinely horrific that I cannot even begin to understand truly how we will ever get the forgiveness of Palestinians. And people say this time and time again, that these are the worst images I've seen, these are the worst images I've seen. But from my understanding of the situation currently, this latest bombing took place in the Rafah crossing, located in an UNRWA tent, where thousands, hundreds of thousands, of my understanding, of people were sent there, were displaced to this tent. Again, this is UNRWA. This is the UN. These are displacement tents that the UN put in place to keep people safe, right? And those are the areas in which Israel just targeted. Remember all the claims about the babies that the White House has continued to make, even though, not the White House necessarily, actually Joe Biden himself has continued to make, even though now those articles have been disproved and the White House itself has had to come forward and say that this is not true. I just saw a man carrying a baby, fully baby, and that is a image I will never get out of my head. The absolute sanctioned violence by the United States that we have been seeing take place in Palestine for the last 8 months is due to the fact that lies were made about children who were, as well as rape victims. These stories have now been debunked, but when you put information like this out into the world, it is very difficult to take it back. And so now we are seeing the ramifications of that. I'm going to strongly encourage you to interact with the videos and the images that we are seeing coming out of Rafah right now across all social medias. We have to make these stories, these situations, these horrors so undeniable that everywhere you look, someone is going to see this. Because there are still people today who have no idea what is happening around the world, not only in Rafah, but in the DRC, in Sudan. These are the atrocities that we are forcing upon people. Us in the West, we are forcing this upon people because we continue to put these violent, evil maniacs into office, and then they go and commit these atrocities. We have got to stop this, and we cannot stop fighting for the rights of people all over the world.
Today, Israel bombed a refugee camp in Gaza after telling Palestinians just 4 days ago that this area called Block 2371 was a safe area in Rafah. And then they bombed them 60 times, a refugee camp, when they were sleeping. 60 times, a refugee camp. A refugee camp all made up of tents with families. And there is a video of a man who holds up a burnt Palestinian baby, and the baby's head is completely decapitated. And the videos are just of burnt people. That video was the very first video I woke up to this morning, and I had to cover my mouth to stop myself from screaming and sobbing. This is a sickness that we are watching. This is a sickness that we are all witnessing. And I became physically sick from this. So much that I had to actually take time to focus on healing my body. And I think every day the trauma the torture that Palestinians in Gaza have to endure. That trauma will never leave them. It will never leave their bodies. It will never leave their mind. The torture that they are subjected to on a minute-by-minute basis. And there seems like there's no end in sight, because it feels like America and Israel and the UK and all these European and Western countries are above international law. So it doesn't feel like we can even imagine the end. Because right now, a country that calls itself the only democracy in the Middle East bombed a refugee camp where people were sleeping, where families were sleeping. And people, Zionists will literally say, how can you say that Israel's a monster? They gave them a warning. I feel like we're not all living in the same world, and in a time where there's multiple genocides and multiple famines happening all at the same time, and people in America are asking, well, if we're not voting for Biden, who are we going to vote for? It is unreal sometimes to be alive at this point. It feels like I am in the motherfucking Truman Show sometimes. Like, this shit is so unreal. And then I watch a video of children dying in the most horrible, in the most difficult ways humanly possible. Like, no one should have to leave this world feeling that much pain, let alone a child whose body is so fragile. And then I realized this is very real.
I just saw a father holding up his beheaded baby because of another airstrike by Israel in Rafah. This happened the same day that a Western news outlet, The Atlantic, is literally trying to justify the killing of children. This is what our ruling class has decided is normal, and I'm sick of it. No matter what our genocidal leaders say about the killing of children, it will always be illegal. It will always be immoral. Israel bombing Rafah 60 times after the ICJ court orders them to stop all military actions in Rafah is illegal. In fact, the very existence of Israel as a settler colonial entity is illegal.
If you've seen the videos out of Rafah today, I just wanted to come on here, and just say that I've seen them too. And I'm with you, and I'm horrified. And if you need to take a moment to feel some grief, we can feel it together. And my last couple of videos were all about like parenting and parenting ideas, and people in the comments are like arguing over the minutia of the wording, that's like the perfect wording to use to make your kids feel the most loved and supported. And what disgusting privilege to have all the conditions of life, for our children, and to be focused on that level. These parents in Gaza they don't love their children any less than we do, They're living in tents, they've been starved, they haven't had food, I made a video about where a lot of people were telling me I'm going to give my kids an eating disorder because I refer to some foods as healthy. It's just how lucky are we to have this. And I know that all of you want everything for these kids. I know all of you we want to make it stop. We want to make it stop, and we don't know how. I don't know how to make it stop. I'm taking this moment to bear witness, as hard as it is, and then to just feel the grief that comes up, because that is human. That keeps you human. I think if you watch those videos and you don't take time to feel grief from them,
for me at least, I would bottle it up and it would end up coming out later as anger. I would lash out because I can't keep all that inside, you know? I'm taking this weekend. I'm gonna tomorrow for Memorial Day, you know, the holiday. My kids will be off school. I'm gonna take time to think again. Can I raise my voice louder? How can I be more effective in what I'm in trying to be part of this movement to stop the killing of kids and families? I talked to Sádd, who's my contact with the family I'm supporting this week, and you know, he said the kids, it feels like we are in a horror movie. They're trembling with fear. Where they are, they can hear the bombings and they can hear the ambulances. I know it's not much. I know it's inadequate, but all I can do for this family right now is keep collecting money for them. And maybe reaching their goal, you know, will bring some measure of comfort. And I'm gonna stay with this family until we get to $100,000, so that they have everything they need when, please, when the Rafah border crossing opens, they can leave. And yeah, as always, if you donate at least $5, send a screenshot of your receipt to t4gaza@gmail.com. You'll be entered to win a signed copy of this week's book giveaway. I'll pick a winner tomorrow because it's Monday, and then I'm going to stick with this family until we get to $100,000. Sometimes we see something so awful and shocking, it's like we can't even cry about it because you can't get there. So maybe my grief is helpful. I think some people have said that when I cry on here about this stuff, like, y'all find it helpful. So I hope this space is helpful for that. And I really don't understand how there's any parents in the world who can be okay with this. I don't understand that. And now, like I've taught my kids, you know, we're gonna do some breathing. We're gonna do some breathing and calm down, and continue the work, for Gaza forever until Palestine is free.
Have you seen the news? Because we know news like this are the ones that are going to be censored. I would like to hear what you guys think. There's no way you'll be human and you watch that video and you didn't feel something. I know you feel something watching those videos, seeing those images, seeing the image of a father carrying his unalive child with the head decapitated. I know you felt something. I know you're still feeling something. And this is the reason why we need to continue to share these videos, because there are still some people that don't even know that stuff like this is going on in the world right now. That was supposed to be a safe place for these people. They were literally sleeping when this happened. And with everything going on and how long this has been going on, and the fact that there is no end in sight, like we can't really say, okay, by the next few days, by the next few weeks, these people are going to be okay. They are going to be free from those people. Like, no end in sight. They are literally living every single day of their life like it's their last day. Because imagine the people that have been affected with this bomb. They were alive few hours before that happened, and they know that the possibility of them surviving is very, very slim. Imagine being in a situation where you have to live every single day of your life like it is your last day on earth. I am here still struggling to understand how these people are going to heal from this trauma. This is a baggage that these people are going to carry till their last breath. Like, even if this stops today, even if these killings and this ethnic cleansing stops today, the trauma they have is enough to last them a lifetime. Well, how do they heal? How are they going to heal from this trauma? Like, it is just so sad. Make sure you share this video because pictures from Rafah are devastating. They are hard to watch. They are hard to see. They are hard to even comprehend. How on earth are people going to sit in their own safe place and say, let us kill these hundreds of people? Kids are being killed. They are being murdered. These are being wiped out. And it's still going on. And still there is no end inside. They were sleeping when it happened. And imagine just waking up to see that your child is gone. To see that your friend, to see that your cousin is gone. To see that your nephew is gone. these babies, these innocent babies, not choose to be in that situation. Make sure you share this video, and I am going to see you guys in the next one.